Happy Labor Day from Happy Life Studios, the official podcast of the holidays. It's why we put happy in front of them all. Last week we talked about how we were going to talk this week for Labor Day about the hardest working mother of them all. I don't know if you have been thinking about that at all, but do you have any clue as to whom we might be talking about? Because she's really famous. I mean, really famous. If you don't know yet, let me give you a little hint.
I see trees of green.
No, her name isn't Louis.
Red roses too.
Or Armstrong.
I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself,
people know her from all around the world.
What a wonderful world.
She's the hardest working mother of all. Mother of all.
Yes,
mother of all.
I think to
the mother
myself,
of all things. Nature.
What a wonderful world.
Yeah, it's Mother Nature. Mother Nature is the hardest working mother of all.
Ooh, yeah.
Don't believe me? I'll let Mother Nature speak for herself.
Some call me nature. Others call me Mother Nature. I've been here for over 4.5 billion years. 22,500 times longer than you. I don't really need people, but people need me. Yes, your future depends on me. When I thrive, you thrive. When I falter, you falter. Or worse. But I've been here for eons. I have fed species greater than you, and I have starved species greater than you. My oceans, my soil, my flowing streams, my forests, they all can take you or leave you. How you choose to live each day, whether you regard or disregard me, doesn't really matter to me. One way or the other. Your actions will determine your fate, not mine. I am nature. I will go on. I am prepared to evolve.
Is it just me?
Are you?
Or does Mother Nature sound an awful lot like Julia Roberts? I don't know, I'm just saying. That was actually a video. We'll leave the link, as always, in the show notes. It was a video by Conservation International. Their webpage is natureisspeaking.org. And Julia Roberts was narrating Mother Nature there. But see what I mean? She's incredible. The hardest working mother of all, no doubt. And since this is Labor Day, and since Mother Nature is the hardest working mother of all, I thought we should just highlight her for Labor Day. Because this really is about labor, our labor. We're just going to use Mother Nature's example to highlight that. First, we're going to talk about her resume, which is quite incredible. Then we'll talk about her work ethic. And lastly, we'll talk about, well, you know the quote, work smarter, not harder. Well, let's just say Mother Nature is a pro at that.
I'm going to show you how to operate in a spirit.
This is Happy Life Studios.
This message is for you. This message is for you. This message is singular to you. It's not for anybody else. It's not hard to get. It's not hard to get. It's not hard to understand.
Hey, are you happy?
Now that's a great question.
Does your sun set high? Does your sun set high?
Welcome to Happy Life Studios.
What's up, Happy Lifers? Thanks for joining us today. We are so happy you did. And happy Labor Day. Let's talk about the hardest working mother of all, because there's something that we're going to really learn from her today, and I can't wait to get into that. But before I do, I want to get into Mother Nature's resume first. First of all, let's just say that Mother Nature is rich. Daniel Webster said that, quote, "The materials of wealth are in the earth, in the seas, and in their natural and unaided productions," end quote. She's rich. Maybe that's because she's a doctor. Margie Flint said, or is it Margie Flint? I'm not sure, M-A-R-G-I, said, quote, "We need to teach people to go into their backyards. That real healing is all around us," end quote. That's what Mother Nature brings. Mother Nature brings healing. Just being around her, being with her, hanging out with her brings health. Maybe she's rich because she's a designer. Alexander McQueen said that there is no better designer than nature. And you think about all the things that we as humans design, how many of those things are copied from nature? Mother Nature is a designer. Maybe she's rich because she's a successful painter and artist. John Ruskin said that nature is painting for us day after day pictures of infinite beauty. Isn't that the truth? I mean, mountains, scenery, sunsets, sunrises. I mean, she's a painter. She's also an artist. Megan Whedon said that Mother Nature is the world's greatest artist and life is her canvas. I like that. Not only is Mother Nature an artist, but life is her canvas. That's how this all fits into our Labor Day special right here. Mother Nature is the world's greatest artist and life is her canvas. Over the eons since our planet was formed, from the tiniest bacteria to the tallest mountain, all of nature has conspired to build the intricate, harmonious systems we all rely on. Humans are a creative expression of nature, and from the earth we can find limitless inspiration, end quote. So Mother Nature, she's a doctor, a designer, a painter, an artist. And she's many more things than that. But one thing's for sure. Mother Nature is a powerful force to be reckoned with. And I'm not just talking about her hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, floods, and other what the insurance business likes to call acts of nature. Because oftentimes when we think about Mother Nature, those scary, ugly, destructive things are what we think of. But I want you to think about this. As awesomely terrifying as Mother Nature can be, she is also just as awesomely beautiful. Just like life. Life is that way. Life is difficult, but it's easy. Life is difficult, but it's beautiful. Just like Mother Nature. Sometimes it can throw curveballs and ugly things at us, but it's also tremendously magnificent, just like Mother Nature. Think about how refreshing it is. We just mentioned earlier when we hang out with Mother Nature, how she brings healing to us. Think how refreshed we feel when we spend time with Mother Nature, when we spend time out in nature. If you've ever gone to the ocean and played around in the water, at the end of the day, you are worn out. Sometimes just staring at a fire can make you so tired. Or you go camping and you can sit in front of your tent or your RV all day out in nature, and at the end of the day, you sleep like you haven't slept in a long time. It's a good tired, a good weary, where we're just worn out from being in nature, being with Mother Nature. That's what Mother Nature does for us. Think how inspired we get when we study nature. Like we said earlier, just watching the sunrise. Well, I haven't watched many of those, but I have seen many sunsets. Aren't they just amazing? And some of the most gorgeous sunsets I have ever seen have been in Los Angeles and L.A. And you know why? They say that it's because of the smog. something ugly, some pollution, but it creates Mother Nature. It makes even more, the sunset even more beautiful. The point I'm trying to make there is that as even the ugly, difficult things of life can also be beautiful and gorgeous with those things as well. Sometimes those difficult things are what make the colors of life so great. I live in the Pacific Northwest. We have many mountains here. One I get to see every day is, well, I don't get to see it every day because it's overcast a lot in Seattle area. But when the clouds go away and the sun comes out, it takes my breath away almost every time I see it. And you know what makes it so great is the clouds, the overcast. Me used to seeing gray all around me. And then when the clouds dissipate and I see Mount Rainier, it's like I've seen it for the first time. So sometimes in life, the acts of nature hit, the overcast comes, the difficult times come. But man, it makes, when those things pass, it makes the beauty of nature, the beauty of life, stand out even more. It's the dark colors, the dark background that makes the bright colors shine so much, that look so beautiful. So Mother Nature, that's her resume. That's her work ethic. She's not only the hardest working mother of all, but I would say that she's also the wisest working mother of them all. And I'm not the only one that would say that. Ralph Waldo Emerson would say the same thing. He tells us to, quote, adopt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience, end quote. I want to say that again. Ralph Waldo Emerson says that we should adopt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience. Now, those are a couple qualities you're probably not going to hear on a lot of Labor Day podcasts. Pace and patience aren't qualities we mention much when we talk about labor, when we talk about work, when we talk about going to work. Oftentimes it's the opposite. Bigger, better, faster, stronger, harder, more. We don't hear many bosses or managers talking about pace yourself, be patient. Maybe that's why labor has such a negative connotation to it. I bet if we included pace and patience in our description of labor, I bet if our work ethic had more of Mother Nature's work ethic, and maybe yours does. But for those who don't have the pace and the patience in their work, maybe your boss, maybe those above you, make it very difficult for that to be put in there. But I think that if pace and patience was included in our work ethic, in our job, in our life, labor would have a such more positive vibe than what it has right now. Life, if we can learn pace and patience like Mother Nature, is going to have such a happier, peaceful, positive vibe in our lives. Unfortunately, like I said, pace and patience aren't talked about much when it comes to our labor or our work, especially in America. Maybe it's because we spend so much of our time pursuing the American dream, or should I say the American dollar instead? Because that's what the American dream has morphed into for many. That's not where the American dream started, but it's morphed into that for many people. And I think America's founding fathers would maybe be a little disappointed with that or shocked with that. I think our founding fathers had a different view on what the American dream was. To them, it was about life and liberty and the unalienable right for everybody to pursue happiness. The unalienable right to the pursuit of happiness. Money, not so much. They didn't talk about that a whole lot in the Declaration of Independence. Did they talk about it at all? The American dream started as life and liberty and everybody's right to pursue happiness. In the last episode, we talked exactly about that. It's not about the money. It's about what matters, not what's missing. Go back and listen to it if you haven't listened to it yet. But it's easy to get confused and think that money is what makes us happy. To think money is what the American dream is all about. But if that were true, If money did make us happy, then wouldn't it make sense that all rich people would be happy? But really, we're all rich. If we have life, if we have friends, if we have hope, if we have happy, we are rich in so many ways, but it's easy to focus on what's missing instead of what matters. When we make the American dream about money instead of about living and being happy in the moment, then it turns out that the American dream turns into the American nightmare real fast. Which is why I love what Ralph Waldo Emerson's quote regarding Mother Nature's work ethic. It's why I like it so much. Adopt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience. This is what TokiMotivation.com, T-O-K-I, motivation.com, has to say about that quote of Ralph Waldo Emerson, as well as Mother Nature's vibe. Quote, adopt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience. This Ralph Waldo Emerson quote about patience invites us to reconsider our quick fix culture and appreciate the steady wisdom found in the natural world. In our busy lives, it can feel almost impossible to slow down, but this reflection from Emerson nudges us to pause and take notice. The message carries both peace and challenge, reminding us of a path to greater fulfillment that is always available, even when modern life feels rushed and restless. This fits so perfectly in with Labor Day. Labor Day was created to honor the American worker and how they've helped improve our world. Last episode, like we said, give or take, we talked about the world as a place where we need to see it as a place where we can deposit instead of withdraw. Well, that's what our laborers do. They deposit, they give so that we can have a product to help us in our lives. But Labor Day was actually created by a bunch of laborers way back in the 1800s to improve their working conditions. That's what I'm talking about here. That's what Mother Nature is talking about here. Mother Nature is definitely down with improving our working conditions. Let's go back to that last quote where she talked about reconsider our quick fix culture, or slow down, pause and take notice. Greater fulfillment is always available. It doesn't get much better working conditions than that, in my opinion. That greater fulfillment is always there. Happy is always there. Hope is always there. When we adopt Mother Nature's patience and pace, it does exactly that. Like Toki Motivation says, the message carries both peace and challenge, reminding us of a path to greater fulfillment that is always available, even when life feels rushed and restless. And wait, she gets better. Toki Motivation goes on to say that the heart of adopt the pace of nature, her secret is patience, lies in seeing patience not just as waiting, but as an ongoing way to live. I like that. It's like Happy Life. We see it at Happy Life Studios. Happy Life isn't just a life, it's a lifestyle. Patience is the same thing. Patience isn't waiting for something to happen. Oh, now I got to be patient. Now I got to wait. No, patience is a way to live. It's a lifestyle, just like happy can be. Imagine what it would be like if we all strived to make patience and pace a lifestyle instead of just seeing it as a nuisance or a pain in the butt. Okay,
Well,
I'm waiting.
we're waiting.
Right? Because it works. Patience and pace works. Why work harder when you can work smarter? That's patience and pace. Toki Motivation says that nature never rushes but always achieves what it sets out to do. See, it works. Think about all that Mother Nature accomplishes. Hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. And she always accomplishes what she sets out to do. But here's the kicker.
Now, here's the kicker.
As we talked about in last week's episode. She does all that without ever rushing. Think about it. Mother Nature is never in a hurry. Now, that doesn't mean that she doesn't move, that she's not a mover and a shaker, that things don't happen fast sometimes around her. In fact, Patience and pace is probably what allows her to be a mover and a shaker. And Mother Nature is a huge mover and a shaker. Unfortunately, at least in the American workplace, when we talk about pace and patience, we often think that that's the opposite of a mover and a shaker. But I think pace and patience is what allows someone to be a mover and a shaker, including Mother Nature. Check it out. The earth is constantly moving in a minimum of 5 different directions at over 1.3 million miles an hour. Mother Nature, she's a mover and a shaker. She's moving fast. And yet, her pace and patience is her secret. What cracks me up is when I read stuff like that, and I've looked that up several times, it's still hard for me to believe that we're moving like that right now. But I'm going to add to that by going 60 and a 50. I'm going to add to that by rushing when we're already moving 1.3 million miles an hour. Think about it. Nature unfolds at its own rhythm. Toki Motivation said that. They go on to say that flowers bloom when they're ready, trees grow over decades, and rivers carve valleys across centuries. Rushing or forcing these natural processes does not quicken the outcome. Instead, real growth happens on its own in quiet persistence and repetition. The Emerson quote about patience reminds us that lasting change, whether in nature or in life, takes consistent effort and an openness to time's slow unfolding. End quote. Did I read that right? Quiet persistence and repetition? It takes consistent effort and openness to time's slow unfolding? You look up that word consistent, and it means steady. Or get this, one of the synonyms Merriam-Webster gives for consistent is comfortable. They also describe it as acting or done in the same way over time. So with that in mind, let's reread that last sentence, which is this. The Emerson quote about patience reminds us that lasting change, whether in nature or in life, takes consistent, which is steady, comfortable, acting the same way over and over again. It takes that kind of effort, that kind of comfortable effort, and an openness to time's unfolding. So the question I have for me is, can I be comfortable? Can I be comfortable with allowing time to do its work? Because it works for Mother Nature. She's got pace and patience down. I don't. Can I become comfortable with that? Because that is the hardest and most successful working mother of all secret. Pace and patience. Maybe it should be ours as well. Toki Motivation says that, quote, on a deeper level, Emerson's words suggest that the calm, measured way nature endures can be a model for us. Patience is not about passively enduring delays or setbacks. It is about trusting that progress is happening even if we can't always see it. By adopting the pace of nature, we remind ourselves that results come from steady effort, resilience, and faith in the process. Values often lost in a world obsessed with instant achievement. Emerson's insight points toward a slower, more meaningful approach to life, grounded in trust and gentle perseverance. End quote.
Make someone happy. Make just one someone happy, and you will be happy too.
I want to adopt pace and patience because I think that's the secret to working well, to working happy.
Steve A's.
Happy Labor Day. May all your work be good, happy, and patient.
Repeat after me. Okay. Taking time to rest. Taking time to rest is an act of self-love. Is for lazy losers. No. Hustle, hustle, hustle! Why won't you take care of yourself? Don't deserve it. Stop running from your feelings. No feelings, just doings. You need rest and sleep. I'll rest when I'm dead.
What?